words that I speak today be a blessing to your people. Amen. Please be seated. When you're the homilist for Thanksgiving Sunday, you can sometimes face a dilemma. Sometimes the readings for the day don't match up with it being Thanksgiving. So you're faced with three choices. Do a homily on the readings, do a homily on Thanksgiving, or try to bridge the gap between the two readings and Thanksgiving. I fortunately didn't have to do that. I was very blessed today. Some of our readings today tell us why we should be thankful, and then what we should do to express our gratitude to God. The dictionaries define Thanksgiving as that day that's set aside to be grateful for an abundant harvest and to be thankful for all the blessings in our lives. Gratitude is the act of being thankful and realizing how blessed you really are. Psalm 100 tells us to enter his courts with praise and his gates with thanksgiving. You may be wondering, how in the world you can do this? You don't want to walk around in church raising your hands and singing. You don't have to. This way of thanking God for all he has given us can be done anywhere. You might be walking through the woods on a nice fall day and see the beautiful colors, and you simply say, you know, Lord, I'm really blessed that I can see this. Thank you. Or if you listen to some Christian music and you start singing along, it doesn't matter if you're in key or not, because singing is singing. But you still have the ability to sing. You still have the ability to hear. You have just thanked God for everything. Another translation of the reading in Philippians is as follows. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are worthy for praise. Now keep putting into practice all you have learned and received from me, everything you saw me doing, and everything you heard me say. Then the God of peace will be with you. I don't think I can add much to that, except to say, if you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it, and then be willing to accept the help that is offered. I can remember a time when I was having a really, really rough time, and somebody offered me help, and I said, no, that's okay. I can take care of it. I'll do it myself. And they looked at me and they said, don't you dare take my blessing away from me. And I went, what, you're getting brownie points from God? But then once I prayed about it, I realized what she was saying. She was saying to me, I get just as much of a blessing out of it as doing it, as you do receiving it. Here's a story that is a perfect example of that. Help carry one another's burdens, and by doing, you will obey the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2. It was the day before Thanksgiving. The first one, Hope, and her 3 children would be spending alone. Her husband had left the family several months before. Now, her 2 older children were sick with the flu, and the oldest had been prescribed bed rest for a week. It was a cool, gray day outside, and a light rain was falling. Hope scurried around, trying to take care of each child's needs, taking temps, giving juice. Hope realized she was quickly running out of liquids for the children. She looked in her purse and was dismayed to find out that she only had $10 to last her until payday. There was no way that was going to cover all they needed. Suddenly, the phone rang. It was the secretary of their old church. She told Hope that the people of the church had been praying for them and had a gift for them. Hope told the secretary that she would stop by shortly, as she had to go past the church to get to the market. When Hope arrived at the church, the secretary greeted Hope and told her, "Once again, we think of you and your children often. You are always in our thoughts and prayers." After she said this, she handed Hope an envelope. The envelope contained 2 gift cards for $25 each. Hope was so touched, she burst into tears. All she could say was thank you. Hope went on to the market and picked the groceries they needed. However, at the checkout, the cashier seemed to be taking a long time to ring up the order. Thinking there might be a problem with the cards, she told the cashier that she had gotten them from the church and that they were a blessing because her kids were sick and they needed juice and soup. The cashier looked at Hope and said, "Go back and pick up everything you need for a proper Thanksgiving dinner." Hope told her that really wasn't necessary. Her kids were sick. The cashier was insistent, and she said, "On top of that, I want you to get Gatorade for the kids." So Hope went back, picked up the additional groceries and the Gatorade. When she came to the checkout, it was the cashier who paid for the extra groceries. And this is what she told Hope. "During my morning devotions, I asked the Lord to send someone to me today that I could help. I knew when you came through the line and told me where you had gotten the gift cards, you were the one I was to help." Hope was not supposed to have the children the weekend of Thanksgiving, but because they were sick, she had kept them home. By Thanksgiving, the children were feeling better. They were able to share a lovely Thanksgiving feast. Because of God's grace and because a group of people listened when God spoke to them. I have been in some low points in my life, and God has always been there for me, and He will be there for you. You simply have to say, "Hello, God, it's me. You know, you said that I was to bring my problems to you. Well, here you go." Now, He may not always answer them the way we want them answered, but He will answer, and He will bless you. So, as He was for me, He was there, He will be there for you too. And for this blessed gift, I say thanks be to God. Happy Thanksgiving.